What if I told you there's a secret garage that's worth more than some countries? A place where automotive dreams come true and history is made with every rev of an engine. This isn't just any collection. It's Ralph Lauren's personal automotive wonderland. Get ready to have your mind blown as we take you on a journey through 10 of the rarest, most valuable cars you've probably never even heard of. From a British racing legend that'll make your heart race to an Italian masterpiece that's basically art on wheels, we're about to show you why these aren't just cars, they're time machines that'll transport you to the golden age of automotive excellence. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Number 1, 1957 Jaguar XKSS. Picture this, a sleek, curvaceous body that looks like it's moving even when it's standing still. That's the 1957 Jaguar XKSS, and it's not just any old classic car. This beast is the road-going version of the legendary D-Type race car, and it's so rare it might as well be a unicorn. Why so rare? Well, Jaguar only planned to make 25 of these beauties, but fate had other ideas. A fire at the factory destroyed 9 of them, leaving just 16 in existence. Talk about exclusive, but here's where it gets wild. This car was the ride of choice for Hollywood royalty like Steve McQueen. It's not hard to see why. With a 3.4-liter straight-six engine pumping out 250 horsepower, this cat could sprint from 0 to 60 in under 5.5 seconds. Number 2, Porsche 911 Turbo. If the Jaguar XKSS was the king of the 50s, there's another automotive monarch that's ruled for decades. What if I told you there's a car that's been in continuous production since 1964, evolving but never losing its essence? The Porsche 911 Turbo isn't just a car, it's a time machine that's always in the present. Let's talk about the 911 Turbo, a car that's basically German engineering in its purest form. This isn't just some weekend warrior that sits in a garage most of its life. No, the 911 Turbo is the superhero that also has a day job. It's got the performance to make your heart race on the track, but it's civilized enough to take you to work every day. Over the years, Porsche has packed this beast with more tech than a Silicon Valley startup. We're talking about things like all-wheel drive, active aerodynamics, and even rear-wheel steering. But here's the kicker. All this fancy tech doesn't just make the car faster, it makes it safer and more usable too. The impact of the 911 Turbo on the sports car world. It's like dropping a meteor into a pond. Every other manufacturer has been playing catch up for decades, and guess what? They're still trying. Number 3, McLaren F1LM. Just when you thought cars couldn't get any more extreme, along came a British beast that rewrote the rules. Ever wonder what happens when a race car decides to hit the streets? The McLaren F1LM has the answer, and it's not what you'd expect. Born from McLaren's domination at the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans, the F1LM is rarer than hen's teeth. Only 5 of these beasts ever rolled off the production line, making them the automotive equivalent of a unicorn. But here's the kicker, this isn't just some pretty face. The F1LM packs a 6.1-liter V12 engine that screams out 680 horsepower, propelling it to a mind-bending top speed of 225 miles per hour. Now, you might think all that power would make it a handful, but McLaren had other ideas. They slapped on a high downforce package that actually made it slightly slower than the standard F1. Why? Because they wanted it to corner like it's on rails. This thing doesn't just go fast in a straight line, it dances around corners like a ballerina on rocket fuel. Number 4, Lamborghini Reventon. From British precision to Italian fury. If the McLaren F1LM dances like a ballerina, our next car punches like a heavyweight boxer. Imagine a supercar so extreme it makes other Lamborghinis look tame. How much would you pay for a piece of automotive history that's appreciating faster than gold? Enter the Lamborghini Reventon, a car that looks like it could take off from the runway at any moment. Inspired by fighter jets, this beast is all sharp angles and aggressive lines. Lamborghini only made 20 of these bad boys, making them rarer than a unicorn sighting. Under the hood, you'll find a monstrous 6.5-liter V12 engine pumping out 650 horsepower. This thing doesn't just go fast, it warps time and space around it. But here's the kicker, when it launched, each Reventon cost a cool $151 million. Now, some have sold for as much as $20 million. Talk about a solid investment. This car didn't just push Lamborghini's design language, it shoved it into the future with both hands. Number 5, 1965 Aston Martin DB5 Drophead Coupe. Speaking of pushing boundaries, let's shift gears to a car that redefined cool for an entire generation. What if I told you that Ralph Lauren owns a piece of cinematic history that's worth more than most people's houses? Enter the Aston Martin DB5, the ultimate spy car that became a legend thanks to James Bond. But here's the twist. Lauren's version isn't just any DB5, it's the ultra rare Drophead Coupe. Imagine the sleek lines of the coupe, but with a power-operated convertible top that lets you soak in the sun like a secret agent on vacation. This British beauty isn't just about looks. Under the hood, a 4.0-liter inline-6 engine pumps out 282 horsepower, enough to hit 145 miles per hour. That's faster than you can say shaken, not stirred. And with only 1,059 DB5s ever made, spotting one is rarer than catching a glimpse of 007, James Bond himself. Number 6, 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. Now let's jump from British class to American excess. Picture this. It's 1957, rock and roll is king, and Cadillac just dropped a car that's more powerful than some modern trucks. How did they pull it off? And why does this beast still turn heads today? Enter the 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz, a car that screams bigger is better, louder than a monster truck rally. This isn't just a car, it's a chrome-plated land yacht with fins so big they could double as airplane wings. Under the hood, a 365 cubic inch V8 engine roars with 325 horsepower, launching this 5,000-pound behemoth from 0 to 60 in just 9.7 seconds. That's faster than some economy cars today. But speed isn't everything. The Eldorado Biarritz was all about luxury. We're talking power-operated convertible top, genuine leather seats, and even an air suspension system. In 1957, this rolling palace cost a whopping $7,728, more than some houses at the time. But here's the kicker. This car didn't just turn heads, it shaped the future of American automotive design. Number 7, Alfa Romeo 8C 2300. From American opulence to European elegance, we're about to witness a true game changer. Picture a car that's not just rare, but practically extinct. With only a handful left in the world, this Italian masterpiece isn't just collecting dust in Ralph Lauren's garage. It's rewriting automotive history. But what makes it worth more than most people's lifetime earnings? Enter the Alfa Romeo 8C 2300, a car that dominated racetracks before most of us were even born. This Italian beauty isn't just a pretty face, it's a testament to engineering genius. Designed by the legendary Vittorio Jano, the 8C 2300 packed a 2.3-liter inline-8 engine that pumped out 155 horsepower. That might not sound like much today, but back then it was enough to hit a top speed of 134 miles per hour. That's faster than some modern family sedans. But here's where it gets wild. Ralph Lauren's 8C 2300 Monza isn't just any old Alfa. This exact car, driven by future woo hero Jean-Pierre Wamille, won the Lorraine GP in 1932. We're talking about a piece of racing history that you can actually touch and feel. And if you're wondering about its value, well, a similar 8C 2300 Monza sold for nearly $12 million at auction. Talk about a solid investment. Number 8, Mercedes-Benz SSK. If you thought race-winning pedigree was impressive, wait till you see what's next. Imagine a car so exclusive even royalty couldn't get their hands on it. Ralph Lauren's garage hides a pre-war beast that's part luxury cruiser, part land speed record breaker. But what makes it truly special? Enter the Mercedes-Benz SSK, a car that's not just rare, it's practically extinct. Only about 30 of these beauties were ever made, but Ralph Lauren's version, it's one of a kind. We're talking about the Count Trossi SSK, with a body so unique it looks like it rolled straight out of a 1930s sci-fi movie. Under that sleek hood, you'll find a supercharged 7.1-liter inline-6 engine pumping out 225 horsepower. That might not sound like much today, but back in the late 1920s, it was enough to hit 120 miles per hour. This wasn't just fast, it was rewrite the record books fast. But here's the real kicker. This car isn't just about speed. It's a piece of automotive art that shaped Mercedes-Benz's reputation for luxury and performance. And its value. Let's just say you could buy a small country for less than what this beauty's worth. Number 9. Ferrari 250 GTO. Alright, let's shift gears from German engineering to Italian passion. Remember when I said you could buy a small country for less than the SSK's worth? Well, this next car could buy you a whole continent. It's the Ferrari that changed everything. For the company, for racing, and for car collecting as we know it. Meet the Ferrari 250 GTO, the holy grail of classic cars. Only 36 of these beauties ever rolled off the production line, making them rarer than an honest politician. But rarity isn't the only thing that makes the 250 GTO special. This car is the perfect blend of form and function, with a design so beautiful it belongs in an art museum and performance that dominated racetracks in the early 60s. Under the hood, you'll find a 3.0-liter V12 engine pumping out 300 horsepower. That might not sound like much today, but back then it was enough to hit 174 miles per hour. The 250 GTO didn't just win races, it crushed the competition, taking home 3 consecutive championships for Ferrari. Number 10, Bugatti Type 57 Atlantic. Ferrari's reign on the track was impressive, but there's a car in Ralph Lauren's collection that's playing a whole different game. It's not about speed or championships, it's about pushing the boundaries of what a car can be. How much would you pay for a piece of automotive history that's basically extinct? Enter the Bugatti Type 57 Atlantic, the crown jewel of pre-war luxury cars. With only 3 or 4 ever made, this isn't just rare, it's practically a unicorn. John Bugatti, the founder's son, designed this masterpiece, blending art and engineering in a way that still turns heads today. The Atlantic's sleek aluminum body with its distinctive dorsal seam looks like it's from another planet. Under that sculpted hood, a 3.3-liter inline-8 engine roars with 200 horsepower, pushing this beauty to speeds over 120 miles per hour. But it's not just about performance. The Atlantic's revolutionary design set the stage for decades of automotive styling. And its value? Let's just say Ralph Lauren's example might be the most precious car in his entire collection. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content and hit that notification bell.